You're welcome to TVN SPORTS with Anthony Momodu. On today's edition, it promises to be very exciting as we take a look back to the friendly matches that was played over the weekend. And also, we'll be looking at the possibilities of our Nigerian under-20 national team, talking about the Flying Eagles who are ready in Alexandria, Egypt, getting ready for two-match friendlies to hit them to shape as they get ready for the 2019 Africa Under-20 Africa Under-20 qualifiers. Talking about this championship that will be taking place in Niger later in 2019. My name is Anthony Momodu. Welcoming you to TVN Sports. And on today's edition, I've got a guest right here in the studios. He is no other person, but he's known as the sports master. Jeremiah Umaye is the name. How has it been?
Well, the weekend was awesome. Thank God Nigeria was able to win their match. They won 1-0. And the other friendly matches were quite interesting. So the weekend, the European football, we don't have it. But seriously, I enjoyed myself.
All right, we cannot but go back to the Super Eagles game. What would you take as the positives from that game, and what would be the negatives for you?
Well, for me, the positives from that game is the fact that the Super Eagles are already getting shape and fired up for the challenges ahead in the World Cup. And because when you consider what happened between Nigeria and Poland, you will notice a Super Eagles team that is growing in confidence, and that's a good one for us. I think the way we defeated Argentina 4-2, we didn't actually rest on our oars. We actually took on the Polish national team and we showed them how to play a classic opposition. So those were the positives, but for me the negative part of it is the fact that the Super Eagles actually allow Poland to dictate the pace for them in the first 45 minutes, and even in the beginning of the second 45, you saw Poland still dictating the pace until Nigeria got that goal and got in the boot of Victor Moses. So I think this kind of thing, we shouldn't be doing it in games, because if you do it against some teams, they may punish us. Take for instance the fact that you allow your opponents to play you for, let me say, 36 out of 45 minutes. That's not a good one. I think the Super Eagles have to work on that and actually improve on their way they start matches.
All right, still looking at the Super Eagles game, we had the coach of the Argentine national team talking about George Sampaoli, saying he's a little bit worried about the current form of the Super Eagles. We beat Argentina 4-2 in the friendly, beat Poland. Do you think it's a genuine worry from the Argentine national team coach, knowing fully well that he's got the like of Messi, Aguero in his team?
Well, I want to take that as a very honest worry from the Argentine coach talking about George Sampaoli. The fact that the Super Eagles defeated them in the friendly they played in Krasnodar, Russia, it's a fact or a testament to the fact that the Super Eagles and Argentina game will always be a cracker. And another point is that looking at the way we played Poland, we absorbed pressure and we were able to come up victorious. So it showed you that this is a team that is taking on the world best, because when you check the Super Eagles rating in the world and then check the rating of these teams, you will understand that we are already being seen as giant killers. And I think Sampaoli and Argentina should be worried, apart from the fact that maybe they defeated us on one occasion. When I say one occasion, the last World Cup we played against them, you saw how the games were so close. In as much as Argentina will beat us maybe once or twice, but the Super Eagles has always posed a serious threat to the Argentine national team, and this man knows exactly what is about to face when it comes to Russia in June. So the man is just trying to tell the world that, look, these guys are serious contenders and you should take them serious.
All right, still talking about the Super Eagles. Tomorrow they'll be facing the Serbian national team, known to be very, very tactical and very physical. Looking at the Serbian team and the Super Eagles going ahead to face the Serbian team, what are your expectations for the Super Eagles? And do you think the players would be relaxed, or they still have a lot to prove?
Well, the Serbian game, we are going to have more players to prosecute that game. Junior Ajayi, that played for Al Ahly in Egypt here in Africa, has already landed in England.
He's in the camp. Okay.
So he's in camp already. And Mikel Agu also hits the camp, I think, this morning. So it's a good one for the Super Eagles because they are going to have more players. And apart from that, also, the game in England is going to be a game like we should expect when we are going to play against a team like Croatia, because Croatia play similar pattern to that of Serbia, and it's going to be really good for the Super Eagles. But for me, I will expect a victory in that game because what we did against Poland and what we did against Argentina. So apart from the boardroom points that they actually picked from us, talking about the game that we fielded an ineligible player in the World Cup qualifier, I think we have been 100% in our World Cup qualifier. So I want to give this one also to the Super Eagles. Let's just hope and believe that they will be able to live up to expectation against the Serbian national team and actually deliver a victory.
What happens if the Super Eagles peradventure loses against Serbia? Is that going to dampen the spirit of the squad and probably make Nigerians feel like probably we don't really have the team to do us proud come Russia 2018?
Well, I believe the team that we have in the Super Eagles now, no one should be worried that this team will not perform because this team will surely perform. Right. And when you look at the combination of Joel Obi and Wilfred in the midfield, so you will see something and you can tell someone that, look guys, we have a team. But the fact is that even if we lose to Serbia, because this is a game of football, you lose some, you win some, and you draw some. So I think even if we lose this one, we shouldn't get apprehensive because this team has been delivering victory before. And for a team that has won Argentina, won Poland, I think even if they lose to Serbia, you should be able to say, well guys, you can do better. So for me, I want to believe that even if they lose, it's not going to change anything.
All right, still looking ahead, we have Nigeria taking on the Three Lions of England in one of the friendlies, and we know the Three Lions have been in top-notch form recently. If the Super Eagles beat the Three Lions, could that make us start believing we can actually get to the semi-finals or the finals of the FIFA World Cup?
Well, Anthony, final will be too much of expectation, seriously, for us to be realistic. I think the fact that the Three Lions actually defeated Italy in an international friendly recently, I showed you that the Three Lions are a team that you should reckon with. And
so if we beat them, that should give us some...
So if we beat the Three Lions, it's just going to be, let's say, we are sure we are going to make it to the quarterfinal at least. Let's just be a bit modest in our expectations, seriously. I know if we eventually beat the Three Lions, the world will go gaga and say, yes, these guys may make a statement in the World Cup. Seriously, we are tipping the Eagles to make a big statement in the World Cup. But it's not going to be a case of us just thinking that because we defeated the Three Lions, or because we beat them, because we've not defeated them. So it will be peradventure we beat the Three Lions, and then we will tell ourselves that we've actually gotten to the El Dorado. It's not going to be El Dorado for us, but it's just going to be a testament to the fact that the Super Eagles are ready for the World Cup.
All right, we'll go for a quick break. When we come back from this break, we'll be discussing some other sports aside football. Then we'll be taking you to the 5-minute sport, where we get 5 minutes of fast-paced sports news that is making the headlines right here in Nigeria and also on the global scene. See you soon. Lewis Hamilton may have been beaten in Melbourne, but he remains favourite to win the 5th title. There was a sense of deflation among British fans in Melbourne that Lewis Hamilton's title defence was screwed in the first half of the first race, but has done nothing to diminish belief that he remains overwhelmingly favourite to beat Sebastian Vettel to the 5th title. He possesses the fastest car and a team able to develop with seniority unmatched anywhere on the grid. Let's go to cricket and tell you that South Africa to investigate ball tampering scandal as former coach John Buchanan questions current boss Darren Lehmann's role in the saga. Cricket Australia Chief Executive James Totteland is set to fly out to South Africa as investigations into ball tampering scandal continue. Steve Smith's future as Australia's Test captain is in doubt after he admitted the team's leadership group intentionally planned to manipulate the ball during the third test against the Proteas. Cameron Bancroft was caught on camera appearing to tamper with the ball, and now Sutherland intends to discover exactly what happened as a matter of urgency. Going to football, La Liga, Sergio Ramos welcomes third child into the family with Pilar Rubio as Real Madrid man reveals exciting news with fans saying thank you for sharing our joy. Real Madrid star Sergio Ramos and his partner Pilar Rubio welcomed their third child into the family on Sunday. Ramos shared the exciting news on Instagram, letting his huge 22 million followers know that their baby son Alejandro was born on Sunday night. The Spaniard, seen posing for a photo in a hospital gown alongside his girlfriend and child, wrote on his social media page, "We are very happy to introduce to you Alejandro, born today at 6:24 p.m., 3.1 kg. Thank you for sharing our love. I love you, Pilar Rubio," he wrote. And still talking football, Sergio Aguero plans to leave Manchester City and return to Argentina in 2020. Manchester City all-time record goal scorer Sergio Aguero plans to walk away from English football when his current contract ends. The 29-year-old, who will celebrate his 30th birthday before this Summer World Cup, is tied to City until 2020. Once his deal expires, he intends to rejoin his former club in Buenos Aires, where he began his career before leaving for Atletico Madrid in 2006. Independiente are one of the best supported teams in South America, and they finished sixth in Argentine First Division last season. Aguero broke City's current record when he netted his 178th goal for the club in November's 4-2 win over Napoli. He has since moved on to 199 and we hope to hit his double turn when City visit Everton after the international break. Barcelona defender Samuel Umtiti looks set to be leaving the new camp for Manchester United this summer after contract negotiations with the Spanish club have stalled. Umtiti has been linked to Old Trafford for several months, and the deal appears to be edging closer to completion after Barcelona refused to pay the Frenchman what he wants. According to Spanish outlet Sports, the former Lyon man wants to be the second salary step of the squad alongside the likes of Andres Iniesta and Luis Suarez. All right, welcome back from that quick break. It's now time for us to hit our last round of discussions. I still have in the studios the sports master Jeremiah Omayi right here with me. We've just talked about Super Eagles game against Poland and also what we're expecting from the Super Eagles when we face Serbia later Tuesday night, and it promises to be very awesome. All right, let's look at other sports. Beginning with cricket, it has been the biggest news in the sporting arena over the weekend, where the Australian cricket team was caught cheating by trying to, change the texture of the ball, and it was criminally done but poorly done, and they were caught. Is this a big shame to Australia, knowing how well they're one of the biggest names when you talk about cricket?
Well, for me, it's just a case of players trying to maneuver their ways to victory, and we shouldn't blame that on the Australian team generally.
Okay.
But I'm happy that Cameron, the captain of Australian Test,
has come out,
admitted that yes, we did it. So now it's a fact that the World Cricket Body, talking about the International Cricket Council, ICC, this morning they've sent a delegation to South Africa, and I think Cameron and the other players in the Australian team that were culpable in this offence will be punished accordingly. I believe the ICC will not want their image to be dented and then someone will just walk away with that scot-free. So let's just hope and keep our fingers crossed that at the end of the day we will be able to see these players being punished. This is not encouraged in the world of sport. If you must win, win clean.
All right, a very big instruction there. If you must win, you have to win clean. All right, still talking about cricket, South Africa is willing to send one of its officials to go do investigation because the match was actually between Australia and South Africa. Do you think South Africa might want to rub some salt on the injury of Australia already?
Well, seriously, the South Africa team, talking about the Proteas, I think one thing about them is that their officials are very eager to make sure that this team wins. And now that this is coming in a game against them, I believe they will want to do everything possible to make sure that they get to the root of this. But the danger of it is that if South Africa push their luck too far, it may become a case of them just wanting the world body to punish Australia overboard on the issue that the world body knows the penalty they may melt out against.
And that's not sporting, I guess.
Well, it's not sporting seriously, because lastly you will have to consider the fact that this is a team, a national team against another team. So Australia, South Africa, so it may lead to a diplomatic row, and we don't want to get there in the world of sports.
All right, let's talk a little bit of Formula One before we wrap up this segment with the Sportsmaster. All right, let's talk Formula One. Lewis Hamilton beating again. and that's not making the Formula One fans in Britain really happy. Do you think Lewis Hamilton is beginning to feel the pressure?
Well, seriously, from last year that Lewis Hamilton won his fourth Formula One driver race, I think there's one thing I mentioned then. I said it's going to be difficult for Hamilton to continue with the same pace. But if you look at the Australian Grand Prix, the way it's going now, Sebastian Vettel of Ferrari is still very much in the race. And don't forget Daniel Ricciardo of Red Bull is actually doing well. But still, we shouldn't rule out Lewis Hamilton for any reason, because Hamilton have this record in the last 3 years that even if he's lacking in the early races, he have his way of, I don't know, he just have his way of overtaking them, maybe 6 races to go. I think we still have a lot of races to go for this season. So I believe with time Hamilton will get better. For the Britain fans, I think they have to just take it easy with this man, because one thing this year, with even Fernando Alonso is trying his best to make sure he come back also. So there are a lot of drivers that want to use this season as a breakthrough season, and it's going to be difficult for Hamilton to maintain the same pace and dominance. But don't forget that his team owns the fastest car. Sure, they have the best technician, and I believe they are going to bounce back and actually bounce back stronger.
All right, that's probably we'll go quickly to Egypt just to get your views on this Flying Eagles. Do you think these 2 matches they're going to play in Egypt is going to do them any good in terms of qualifying for the Africa Under-20 Championship holding next year in Niger?
Well, seriously, I'm not a fan of the way the Nigerian team used to perform when it comes to preparation for all these age grade competitions. Okay. So it's only the Super Eagles that we always give premium to when it comes to their preparation, and I think it's not good for us at all. So now, Paul Aibogu was reported to camp a few weeks back, and now they're already in Alexandria wanting to play 2 warm-up games. But for me, let me just pray and hope that this never say die spirit of Nigeria will help them to actually do well. Seriously, I'm not expecting a lot from them in these qualifiers. Even if they crash out, I'm not praying we crash out, because I need them to continue to progress. But then if they crash out, I won't be surprised, because for a team that just reported to camp and was playing a local friendly with teams that are not that highly rated, to be sent to Alexandria to now go and play against national teams, I think I have a bit of issues with that.
All right, that's how we'll be going to wrap on this discourse segment. I had with me the sports master, Jeremiah Omai, taking us through his views as regards the issues coming up. And just to let you be well informed that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be taking on Serbia on Tuesday, talking about the Serbian national team in preparations for the World Cup. And also, we're taking on the 3 Lions of England. That's your Super Eagles there. And also, not forgetting the under-20 national team, the Flying Eagles, you call them. They're in Alexandria, Egypt, where they'll be playing a 2-match warm-up with the Egyptian national under-20 team, also to knock them back to shape. It's now time for me to call it a wrap on today's edition of the program, TVN Sports with Anthony Momodu. Special thanks to my guest, Jeremiah Omai, for being with me throughout the edition of today's program, TVN Sports. And a special thanks to the entire production team who made this show come out awesome. Not forgetting my cameraman, Ben, who was behind the scene, pressing the right buttons. All right, that's how I call it a wrap on today's edition. My name remains Anthony Momodu.